Welcome back to the channel, guys, and another video on the Supercharged Kei car. Once again, we got this car crazy cheap, about $436 USD. We bolted a TEMU supercharger on it and we started it for the first time in the last video. But we've got some issues, and in this video, we're gonna try to refine and perfect it so that we can take this thing on its first maiden voyage. So let's get straight into it. We just had a bunch of parts rock up for the build, like gaskets and new control arms and stuff like that, but this is by far my favorite one. This is an air scoop duct that I got off Amazon. It costs about, I don't know, $2.50 USD. The packaging's destroyed already out of the package. Read this, guys. Airflow. High quality product. We've seen these before. This is just like probably some made in China thing. Comes with already double-sided tape on it, ready to stick onto the hood. I think this is gonna be perfect. This is great. I think these normally are stuck on though and not meant to be actually used. They're like a dummy one. At least that's maybe what it says here. Hang on, English. What is C-L-R-A-N? Chloran. Well, chloran the place. Oh, it's supposed to be clean. Look at this English, Daiki. Well, chloran the place where you prefer to stick. Adhesive backed, no tools required. Use 3M tape. Paintable. Okay. Chloran. Probably gonna cut there, and then that just goes there. Called air intake, baby. Perfect. Daiki, you're in charge of fitting this today. You're gonna cut a hole and put that in there, and that's just so some fresh air is going onto the intercooler. My job is we're gonna do some more welding. We're gonna do the intake pipe to a pod filter so that we're not sucking in anything, and we need to try to bleed off some of this extra boost. I was thinking last night, because I was losing sleep over trying to think of a way that we could bypass and get all this extra air out of there on idle. So I did a bunch of research on the Mini Cooper supercharger and found that they have this really cool bypass valve. I bought one of those, but it's not gonna rock up for a couple weeks. And then I was just thinking, isn't just a blow-off valve kind of the same thing? And this doesn't have an airflow meter, so could I not just have like a vent to atmosphere blow-off valve that I have lying around attached to that? Because when the engine's under vacuum, it should open that, right? If there's boost and push past it. So maybe that's gonna work. I'm gonna try and do that. We're gonna change a bunch of seals, gaskets, control arms, connect everything up so we can take this thing on the road. Let's go. And just like that, we got ourselves a fine little hood scoop on there. She looks mint. Perfect. Now, to be completely honest, I don't think this will actually make much of a difference, just because we should have some kind of foam like around here pressed up against the bonnet so that it's like actual channels the air and forces it through, which we could make something pretty easy doing that, but she's in there. She looks mint. Nice little hood scoop. Give this thing a little bit of a upgrade. Kind of looks so stupid. I love it. It's time for my favorite part, which is welding. I'm welding this little V-band kind of flange thing onto the pipe. I just kind of used a hole saw to open up a 30 mil hole. Should be enough. I had this old blow-off valve just lying around. Hopefully this works and solves that issue on idle, but let's TIG her up. We got this welded and glued on here now. I had a lot of difficulty actually welding this on. This is probably the most difficult aluminum I've ever had to weld. No matter what I did, cleaning and stuff like that, there's something wrong with the aluminum like flange part of this blow-off valve. It just wasn't clean no matter what I did. Eventually we did get there though, but it was very, very hard to get it to stick on there. I mean, aluminum welders know you can never clean enough, and sometimes the grade of aluminum that comes, it could just have any kinds of oil or anything in there, and if you can't get it all out, it messes up your entire weld. That was definitely one of these cases, but we got it on there. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, it's gonna be fine. It's for a Kei car. So we're gonna sit this bad boy back in here, put these 10 mils back in, and then hopefully we don't have to take this off ever again. We should be okay. Definitely been a learning experience, all of this. I'm hoping that this works. If this doesn't work, then it's not the end of the world. I can literally remake that section to go to a bypass valve for like a Mini Cooper or something, and we can use that. But I'm pretty sure this will work fine, just kind of bleeding it off at idle so that it's not overworking itself, the supercharger. At least that's how I understand it. I don't think the last video has gone up on the channel yet. This is like the next day from when we filmed that one. So I haven't had you guys commenting and giving me advice yet. But yeah, still nonetheless, this is my solution for now, I think, after the research I did last night and what I could find. Hopefully it works. So now that we've got this pipe here all attached and the blow-off valve on there, what I want to do next is actually take the valve cover back off because we have a brand new gasket for that. The one on here is a bit crusty, we don't want any oil leaks, so we'll change that while we're here, and then we'll put everything together and we'll test it before we make the intake pipe, because I don't want to waste time on making that if we still have a problem here that needs more fabrication. We got the new gasket here. The old one here is so brittle, like this piece had snapped off. This is all crusty. It feels like it's gonna break if I bend it, which it did. So that was just, listen to it. It sounds like hard plastic hitting the ground, so. Smack this bad boy on. We've gotten everything back together. I want to see if this thing idles a little better now that we've put the blow-off valve on there and plumbed everything in, and just see if boost is coming out of here. Nothing else has changed on the car. I just want to make sure and see if it's gotten any kind of better. That's it. The moment you touch the throttle, it shuts. So it is bypassing the boost. That's really, really exciting. That's super exciting. Okay. I don't know if it's doing it, like maybe it needs to be doing it more, but at least it's somewhat doing it. It is idling better, but the moment it sees boost, it doesn't like it. It just popped this off, Daiki.
Oh.
The little cap that I put there for the booster. So it'll probably be fine if I just pop that back on. The ECU is not happy. We're definitely gonna have to put a link on this, but dude, this makes a lot of boost. We're gonna have to do something though. If it makes too much boost, a bigger pulley, I think we can put a bigger pulley on it and it'll be okay. Yeah. I'm a little concerned about that. Hopefully it'll be okay. We're 100% gonna end up blowing this engine, I think. I don't know if it's gonna survive because the amount of boost that this thing wants to make is pretty much to the moon. I'm very impressed with just how good it seems to work. Yeah. Can't wait to take this thing for a drive. For now though, the blow-off valve definitely helps. It's just dumping a ton of air out of here. It's stopping it like getting too hot. Once we go on a drive and actually start using it, it'll be interesting to see if it helps much. But yeah, anyways, I think a proper bypass valve, one of those like full little throttle body things, like off the Mini Coopers or something, would really help a lot. So we may even change to that once it arrives in like a week or so, but for now we can definitely work with this. It's running so much better. So from here, all we gotta do is fab up the intake pipe with the pod filter, make sure that's getting some nice cold air into there. I'm really curious to see how this thing's gonna do once we take it for a little bit of a drive and just see what it's gonna be like drivability wise. Obviously we're on the lift, we're revving it, we don't really have any load under it or anything like that. But now we just gotta put everything back together. Axle's gotta go back in, we gotta put all the lower control arms, connect the knuckles up and everything. Then we can take this thing for a little bit of drive and see what it's like. I'm dying to take this thing for a test drive. I've already kind of gotten all the suspension back on this side. We gotta do this side. Start with the axle, this bad boy in there. We'll have to also fill the transmission with oil. We've got that happening, don't worry about that. Where's my hammer? I also got some new control arms. Like, I cannot stress to you guys. There she goes, she's in. I cannot stress to you guys just how cheap parts are for this thing. I got 2 brand new lower control arms for the front for 5,000 yen. I wanna say that's like 30 something dollars USD. For 2 new lower control arms with brand new bushes in them. Straight off Yahoo, just like that. And the funny thing is these are the same lower arms on my K van, on so many other K cars, and they're all the same price, except some of the more like fancier versions of the same, you know, chassis essentially, they put a higher price on it, but it's the same part. Just, it's like GTR tax, right? But K car tax and all-wheel drive turbo tax, but 9 times out of 10, the parts are all the same. Anyways, it's just so easy to work on this thing. So good, and everything's so cheap. Like, my goal is to take this thing for a little bit of a drive. It's been a day since we spoke last, and the video went live last night, and I've seen so many people commenting about putting a blow-off valve on this, and I'm glad we did. That's definitely helped a lot. And you've also given me a ton of ideas, like adding the intake and stuff, and putting a bigger pulley on it. In the next video, I have something very exciting that I've ordered that's coming, and I think it's gonna solve all our problems, but I'm also a little pissed off because it does mean that TEMU 100% scammed me. You'll have to tune in for the other video for that. But anyways, we're gonna get this bad boy control arm in. Make sure we're all G there. Go to my bolts bucket. I think these 2 will do.
So what's the goal with this car?
I don't really know. It started as like me just having some fun, and now it's just escalating, you know?
You need to, I kind of like want to see it compete. Did you just spit on there to get it in there?
Gotta give it that Hokuto, right?
A what?
The Hokuto. You haven't seen that yet? How have you not seen that on your reel?
I don't waste my time on social media.
Oh, that's a lie. Time to put the shifter back in. Front wheel drive things are kind of funny. But anyways, it's time for our little shifter in tune. Put it in, put it in, put it. Ah, give me a second. You're a parent, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Little bracket.
This is like seriously going together so good.
Don't jinx yourself, Sam.
That's true. Oh no, it's stuck in my head now. That's definitely not right. It's definitely.
Is it missing a bush or?
This way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That looks right.
Yeah. That's it. That's how it goes. I'm sorry, mate.
Fine.
Woo! We're done. Everything's back together. That took like
5 minutes.
Yeah, I guess for you guys, but for us, I think like 30 minutes. So easy to work on these cars and put them all together. But I did almost forget one thing. Actually, no, I didn't forget. I left it till last because It's the most important thing, and that is transmission oil. So we're gonna fill that up right now. Hopefully, everything's gonna be okay. We're putting Nissan mission oil in a Suzuki transmission. So hopefully it doesn't get mad at me or anything like that. I'll wait for the cease and desist, Suzuki. No, I'm joking. This isn't Ferrari, so we'll be fine.
Oh.
It's okay, it's all right.
It's overfilling.
Yep. It's overflowing, baby. Ooh. All right, we're good. A little bit of parts cleaner, clean up, wheels on, lower her down, bumper, a few other little things. Oh, I almost forgot the most important thing. I have to make an intake for this. We need some kind of intake and filter and something here so that that isn't just sucking in dirt and rocks. I'm not too worried about if the supercharger delaminates and all the plastic on the blades comes off, because the intercooler will catch all of that and stop it going in the engine. But yeah, we still want to definitely give this thing a...
Well, maybe we do need the rocks to go back in there, because that was the only reason.
Look, I keep saying this, but at the end of the day, if we blow another engine, it's just $140. So I don't care. It's great. All right, guys, the final piece is going on. I'm so stoked I can actually hit things with my hand again now. If you guys remember, I talked about a hand injury I gave myself. It's actually strong again. Thanks God. But the final one. Here we go. Nice. We can get this thing on the ground. Let's go for a test drive, Daiki. You think it's gonna blow up?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm way too excited. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even show you guys the best part. Check out the intake we made. Yeah, look at this bad boy. It was pretty hard to weld some of this janky stuff that I had lying around together, but it worked in the end and it's glued on there, and that's all that matters. It looks great. Pop filter's down here. Hopefully it's getting some fresh air. Yeah, should be mint. Let's drop it on the ground and see how it runs. I wonder if it's gonna be quiet. I'm pretty concerned about this supercharger literally just shooting and blowing up plastic everywhere from inside it, but maybe it'll be okay. Oh no, Daiki. I think I made a big mistake. Look at that. I didn't even think about that. The shifter's like in the dash. The bend is going the wrong way. Luckily that's just a 12 mil, and then spin it from the bottom and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything is gonna be fine. Fixed a few things and we now got a shifter. I've been spinning this knob for a long time. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. It doesn't feel tight, but whatever. Clutch first, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Everything seems to be working. It sounds ridiculous. Idling so high. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound good at all. Oh, we're good, we're good. All right, we're good. Sounds all right. Mint. Here we go, maiden voyage, ladies and gentlemen. This is This is probably a bad idea because there's a good chance that something breaks and then we're gonna have to run back here because there's no one else at the shop. Let's go. So loud. Oh, no chance. It just makes too much boost. Nope. No chance. Let's turn around. I don't think this is gonna make it to the convenience store, bro. I don't think so. It's getting quieter.
Huh?
It makes it if we don't boost. It makes too much boost. Yeah, it doesn't like the boost. As long as we keep it out of boost, it runs. We definitely need to get some kind of control for it. It's not happy. It is not happy. We're gonna just stick to first gear and no boost. No boost at all. We need to somehow control this. Or a bigger pulley so it doesn't make anything more than like 1 or 2 or 3 PSI. It's not happy at all. It is not happy. I won't be surprised if the supercharger's blown up, to be honest. Because like the plastic tolerances or whatever inside it, if it gets too hot, it just like delaminates like you've seen in other people's videos. So it's a good chance that's already happened just from us moving the car to the convenience store. Hey. But since we're a family mart, definitely family chicky tie. God, it's so loud. We gotta go quiet home. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I don't even know if it's gonna make it up this hill. Oh, we just did. I'm pretty sure the supercharger, it's like getting quieter and quieter, so I think it's blowing up. Oh, we made it back. We didn't die. But I don't think this was a good idea. I think before we do... Shut up. Before we take this thing for another drive, we definitely need to have a few things sorted. Bigger pulley. Maybe this supercharger is bad because it sounds like it's just chewing through plastic now. So we should definitely investigate that. But it drove for the first time. The moment it goes into boost, the ECU hates it. It is what it is. We'll fix that. I'm gonna go see if we can get like a link atom or something that I know how to use. But it makes boost. Everything's kind of fabricated. So from here we can just kind of get everything to work. And yeah, maybe it'll actually not blow up.
it's there,
So there you guys go, the supercharged Kei car. I'm pretty impressed with it. Obviously the first drive, not that great overall. We didn't get to really boost it or anything. It may boost, but it's overshooting way too much and the ECU just can't compensate for it at all. Maybe the NA ECU would be able to compensate with a bigger pulley and it's only making like 3 PSI, but this is shooting to the freaking moon. Like at one point, I think I saw it wanting to reach 1 bar and at that, like it shut it down right away. There's just no point blowing or lifting the head on this trying to shoot that much through it. I have heard that these K6A engines can handle up to 2 bar of boost though. There are some guys with the K car racers doing that with the Link ECU and whatnot. So we know that the engine should be able to handle that, no problem. But still, I think I want a supercharger that isn't gonna be that crazy loud. I think that is only to the cheap kind of replica ones that you get on TEMU. So we'll find out when we get a real one. But for now, I'm really stoked on this. This project came together crazy well. Everything's crazy cheap. It's been non-stop fun. And the next step is definitely, I think, genuine supercharger, like I said, a Link ECU to be able to tune it, and then just have fun and drive it. Put a roll bar in there, strip out everything in the interior, and start doing some grip stuff with it. I think it'll be great. And then if we really want to get into it, trans out, new clutch, weld the diff so we've got some kind of, you know, 2 wheels go action in the front. I don't even know if you can get an LSD for this, but you know, we'll figure something out. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section if you have any ideas or things that we could do to make this better. Maybe even a cheaper solution. We do still have about $1,000 on the budget that we could put towards the Link ECU and the genuine supercharger. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Like I said, budget on this thing, $2 grand. We're staying under that. That's my goal. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let YouTube know that you like this video by commenting and doing all that other stuff. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned? He said, will you defeat them? You